Okay. I'll try it.
I am.
You ready, sir? All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're live. Thank you for coming over, joining us. We have been over in our previous class, which was the prosperity team meeting. And if you've not been in that, we didn't offer everybody that opportunity. But if you want to join, it's a great thing to join. And there's over 310 people who've joined us so far. So thank you for joining it. We're both digital and in person. This is our new format, which we will embrace and expand upon. And we're doing a new book today. The book is The Richest Man Who Ever Lived by a guy named Scott. And Stephen Scott, right? Did I get his name right? Good. Stephen what now? K. Scott. So Stephen K. Scott. And part of the reason I'm doing this is because I believe that Jesus, in changing the world, used one method. He used small groups. He didn't do it with large numbers of people. He met with 12 people. And the reason for that was he got to know them. And so every time we gather like this once a quarter, you get to see me, I get to see you, and then I get to see literally hundreds of you who watch us online. And so many go back and watch us on demand. I was laughing last week, I think 300 people between Sunday night and Monday went back and watched the sermon. It's amazing how many people do that. And you'll have 1,500, 2,000 watch it, and you'll have thousands over the year will watch it. So thank you for being with us today. I'm going to introduce a new book to you for our next time together. But I wanted to just say this book was great. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way it made me think about one word, vision. That was probably for me the highlight, because I do it all the time. I do something called sermon maps, where I lay out my sermons in a map-like form by month. So I have one question a year I answer, and then each month I seek to answer that question. So this year's question is, how do you protect your future? You protect your future by improving your thinking. And then I'll talk about how you improve your thinking. And this month, for example, we're talking about go faster. You're thinking too slow. You're taking too long. Are you going fast enough to head off what's coming? And then I tackle that in the Bible and what's the Bible say about going faster and so on. So it's a great month of study that we got coming up in the church. But on the Books and Brunch group, we take on a book. This one happens to be on money. The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, Solomon. It's a study of Proverbs. And I've decided that after I went through the book, I said, okay, this has got to be my devotional book. I just got to take the different segments and just kind of work my way through it, because it is absolutely packed full of stuff. And generally, I think what pastors and teachers don't get is students can't remember it all. They can't. You have to learn how to zero in on one main thing that helps you, and that's what you think about. That's what you focus on. And so I'm going to ask you in a minute, what's the one thing in the book that stood out to you that you thought was amazing? They'll pass the microphone around, and just so everybody online can hear you. But we'll talk about what's the one big thing. Now, for me, vision mapping was the key. And that was so good, because the whole idea of vision mapping is you got to have a clear and precise, direct picture where you're going. So if I ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You would say to me, I want to be a whatever. And if you don't have a clear picture, and I love the way he drills down to that concept of it's got to be a clear picture. It can't be blurry. It can't be some of this and some of that. You are a pastor, and you pastor in Savannah, and you plan to pastor for this long. And as a pastor, here are your responsibilities. This is teach and train people. And here's how I'm going to teach and train people. I'm going to show them books. I'm going to take them through about organized studies. And I'm going to start here to get them there. And each year I'm setting specific things I want to teach them so that they can grow and mature. So see specific goals. I'm going to use technology. I'm going to use television. I'm going to use media. I'm going to use on demand. I'm going to make it so they can be in person and on demand. If they can't make it here, they can still get taught. Everybody that's in the prosperity team who wasn't here will get a copy of what we just did, so that all 300 of them can see it, and they will watch it. It's amazing, because we can see if they watch it. We can see how many. It's amazing. So again, sometimes people have dreams, but they don't have the tools to make their dreams come true because they're not clear and precise about what they're trying to do. If the trap in church, the trap with church life, is you will basically believe success is activity. So if you have a service, if you have people gather, then you are successful. But in reality, that's not success. That's just activity. What you want to do is you want to move people to a place of progress where they're smarter, wiser, on their own without you. So if I really help you, you become able to read, comfortable with reading, unafraid of learning and knowledge and so on. So I want to say for me, that was the one area in this book that I thought was profound. And I want to read a little bit of what he said here on page 17. His writings provide precise steps that can be taken into your personal and professional life to produce astounding results. Then on page 17, he goes on to say, in this book, I focus on the strategies and steps articulated in the biblical book of Proverbs that I've applied to the business, personal, and financial areas of my own life. Page 18, he goes on to say, the keys to winning every race. Do you see a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. That's an example. He starts giving you verses and he starts talking through principles that outline, for example, on page 18, he says, the keys to winning. Now, this is where I'm going to take this book and just use it as a devotional because it's got those one-liners and you just got to stop, right? Think about it for a while. It's okay. How does that apply to me? You know, like here's one, the keys to winning every race. Do you see a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. So that's just one big thought. Am I diligent? And he goes through this whole thing about being diligent. And then he goes on and he talks about Solomon's concept of diligence. He says, my computer dictionary describes diligence, this is on page 19, as a persistent and hardworking effort in doing something. I love the word persistent. Persistence is certainly a part of diligence. Hardworking, on the other hand, is not the most accurate term to use when trying to understand Solomon's meaning. I'd prefer to use the phrase smart working. And I love that idea, working smart, not just being active. Do you think that churches are clear about what they do? Are they precise? Or do you think they basically just do a whole lot? I want you to tell me they do a whole lot because that's what I think they do, right? It's not always smart. Give me some things that would be, a church may try to be diligent, right? But in an effort to be diligent, it's just not smart the way they do certain things. What would be some things you think churches could adjust? Give me some thoughts. What are some things?
I'd like to say that we are very, before I get to that part, I'd like to say that we're pretty intentional when you just look at our mission in terms of evangelize, educate, elevate, embrace. We understand the type of chicken we fry, if you will. So we do that. And then I think some of those that maybe, I think you asked maybe some things they're not doing that's smart working.
Yeah.
I mean, there are principles that God has put in place in terms of how you fund the ministry, but instead they choose to fry chicken.
Right.
And I understand that, there's a whole lot of reasons. So
let me apply this to your family for a minute. In your family work, because to me, when I read something, I'm instantly wanting to know how it applies to my life, right? So what do we do in family that's not diligent? What is it that we don't do? What would be some of the things we maybe should do, but we don't really do it as diligently as we should? What would it be?
I think that we don't, as a family of any culture, we don't take on budget seriously. And we also don't take on explaining to our kids how much stuff really costs.
Okay.
Like far as when they grow up, we tell them they need to get a job, and they don't understand that you really need a job because you got to have like health insurance because you got a health issue, and health insurance is very expensive and stuff like that. Right. So we don't give them the whole picture of going. Mm-hmm. We take kids as we raising kids instead of taking kids that we're trying to raise to be productive adults.
Right. We're trying to train them.
Right.
Now, let me say this to you. I think it's the practical. I'm going to get more practical and say, okay, when it comes down to your daily routines. What don't we do in families traditionally? I'll let you to shout it out really loud. What don't we do that if we did this, if we were more diligent in this area, it would make life easier? What would it be? Make the bed up. What else? Just shout it out. Spending time. What else? I'll just repeat it. What else? Communicating. What else? See,
Keep the clothes washed.
keeping the clothes washed, right? Your routines, your rituals and routines create failure. Because what you do is you get up and you don't make the bed up. You get up and you don't. You can come on and sit with us. You get up and you don't. I'm a big. I've said it 1,000 times. I wash clothes every day for a reason. Because I hate piles. I hate piles. I hate piles. Did I say I hate piles? I hate piles. Right. And I just it never goes away. Demons get in there. It's just horrible. And so I have a rhythm and a routine that I follow. And that rhythm and routine, you might say, even someone like, yeah, even somebody like me, I live in a house, I still have towels, I still have clothes. The myth is that, anyway, even if you have housekeepers, you have people who help you, doesn't matter. There's certain things you do that make it even easier for them. And so everything to me that we do sometimes, we spend money without thought. So you don't know what your budget is. You don't know what you have in the bank. You just start spending. You don't have a strategy for maintenance, so you don't ever change the filter in your air conditioning unit. So the coil gets dirty, and then they come and charge you too much money to fix it, or you mess up the whole unit because you haven't changed your filter in 5 years. So all of that, and you're coughing and hacking in the house because you got all this stuff in the air. It's just a lot of basic things that you don't plan to do. So those things lead to they stack up on you, you see? And the challenge in life is coming up with a strategy, a vision map, right? That says, these are the things that I need to do, and I don't need to have 50 things to do. How about one? But having a consistent list, okay? So for example, your marriage, you're going to get grumpy. You know that if you don't spend some time together. So what day can we set aside to be together? I know that for me, I need to, Diane needs to see them grandchildren. She with them right now, as a matter of fact. That's where she at. She with the grandchildren. And they on in their camera. He ain't smiling. See, they fine. I love them. They're good people. They're really good little people. But she has a need. And so then I support that. Okay. That means, it's going to be in the schedule. It's going to be in the plan. So that don't become an issue. You see, and so on. And so my goal is, I understand that Monday's her day, Friday after 3. That's going to be it. Now, she may not want to do anything, but I put that on the calendar. But then guess what I discovered? I got to have a day for Ricky. That's right. They gone now. So this is my time. Praise the Lord. It's quiet in the house. Nobody. This is quiet. I love it. So my point is coming up with days. I'm going to take a couple of trips for a couple of days. Go visit some friends, go visit some ministers that I want to minister to me, some mentors that I believe in. So my point is putting things in place routinely tied to my vision. And so that's why I love this book. I think it has so many great little nuggets in it. Now, let's do the thing where you tell me, and online, I think they can type in the chat and tell me what was their favorite part of the book. And we'll read a couple. You got one online already? Do you? Nope. Okay. If you do, type it in the chat. We'd be glad to respond to it. But, well, we do already. Okay. Happy Saturday, Pastor Rick from Florine, watching my mom. Florine. Okay. Michael Kinsey. Hey, tell the girls to hi. The girls. Tell them grown, super wonderful family members of yours. Your mom and them, hello from me. I appreciate you being with us. All right. So anybody want to tell me what was your favorite part of the book? Let's get to that part real quick. What was your favorite part of the book? Your favorite part, things you thought were great in between smacking and chewing. Go for it. Well, come on, go first then.
I was telling her earlier as we were on our way here to church, this is my first actually brunch and book. So I really haven't had a chance to look through the book that well, but I do notice that it makes a lot of reference to the book of Proverbs. Mm-hmm. And every time I read a chapter in Proverbs, mm-hmm. I see how it applies to our everyday life. And I really like that. And I can't wait to just read the whole thing.
Mhm.
And it also refers you back to whatever the day of the month is.
Mhm.
They're asking to read that chapter in
Mhm.
reference to, or that corresponds with, what's in the book. So I really like that.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great
Mhm.
devotional book. Somebody else, something you read that you like. Go for it.
I like the part about vision as well. I have a lot of things, I guess it's in my head, but I don't write it down. And the Bible says, write it, make it plain.
Mhm.
And you know that because you heard that all the
Mhm.
time,
Right.
but I didn't follow. And you get lost. You
Mhm.
get off track.
Mhm.
And then I was talking to a friend of mine. She wrote down, she has a vision board, and she put everything on her vision board, and it all came to pass.
Right.
Like it didn't, not automatically, but you have to
Mhm.
have that written in front of you.
I have a vision document. That's my life vision document. So I could pull it up for you and I could say, here are the things I plan to do in the church. Here's the things I plan to do in my personal life. Here's what I plan to do in my marriage. Here's what I plan to do for Ricky. And what I do is I go back maybe once a quarter and I say, let's see how much of it you did. So I want to improve my reading. I have certain physical fitness goals. I have certain rest goals. I think I'm okay. I'm on track on a few. I'm just still trying to work out a little bit more. I work out today. When I finish, I'll work out again. I'm concerned about not having the right rhythm. I feel like, I have financial goals. I have specific financial goals, how much I want to make. I have what I call give up money to make money long term. So I could make quick money by running around talking all the time. But I said, no, that's short term money. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be tied to traveling all the time. That's not consistent with my goals because I'm trying to build a healthy church. And if I'm gone all the time, I don't know if that's going to help me do that. My wife used to tell me sometime when I go places to speak, she said, you need to teach that at your church. I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Jesus was big on discipling. Go make disciples. This to me is what I want to expand on. This is an important priority to me because I really believe that books have changed my life. That's the one thing that has been consistent. I have to get out of my mind that my goal is to touch thousands all the time. I can touch a couple hundred. I can touch a couple of dozen. And so reshaping my thinking, focusing my attention. So that's kind of where I am. So that's good. I like that. And and like I said, don't write too much down. I have a little thing I used to do. I used to do something. I still do it every now and then. I call a thought for the moment, or I call them my thoughts. And if I have a great thought, I'll write it down and date it and put the time so that I'm able to go back and say, what were my thoughts for the year? I had 12 of them or 10 of them. And I'll write them down. And it could be a sentence. It could be just a scripture. And then that's it. I'm done. The problem is when you try to document too much and you're trying to say too much, just something brief. And just put the date. I like the date and time because I like to know when I said it. I notice trends. I think deeply late at night. I will. I watch myself. I have a thought every morning, something I'll think about, a devotional thought. I'm tempted to put them all on Facebook every time I have one. Oh, this is Pastor Rick. I just had a thought about. I don't do that. I got to do better with it, but I tend not to want to do that. I tend to want to just have that thought with myself. And I tend not to want to take people on my vacations and even though I took y'all with me to Alaska the other day. Y'all saw that, right? So I'm going to do a little bit more of that. So there's some things I do. But anyway, that's a good thought. I like that. Somebody else? Favorites? Yes, right here. Hold on. He's coming. She's coming. Hold on. You are. Yeah, you are. You're in the right book.
Okay.
Take that in your hand there.
Okay.
Yes.
To be diligent, it means to just keep on keeping at it. And I like the outline of the book because the chapters are short and straight to the point. And I'm going to give this to my sons as a gift because in the years that I was raising them after I divorced as a single parent, I took them through the book of Proverbs on Saturdays. They hated it at first, but I'd give them pancakes and whatever. Then they were okay. And we would have like family meeting. And somehow we got off track after they became grown. They went their own way. But this is excellent. I'm going to give this to them. We would read a book of Proverbs I took them through the book of Proverbs each day. As the sister was saying, we would go through, if today is the 10th, okay, we would do the 10th. And then like that. And they got it. They really got it. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for doing the small groups with us. Because again, as I said earlier, success come in pieces, not in chunks.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy it. Anybody else? Now, another thing, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Bishop. No,
I
please.
said, I don't know if this is a profound one, but it's one of those things that just spoke to me because, like you said, you just take nuggets from it. And on page 33, where he says, take responsibility for your life, your attitude, your value, and how you spend your time. And when you talked about the parable of the talent, let me take responsibility for the gifts and talents in my life that God has given me and try to be as diligent and persistent as possible with, doing the things I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I like that. All right. Now, I noticed something that I do when I read. I'm always trying to say, how does this apply to me? And what I hear in my sermons a lot is people say, he's always applying it. Some practical application to the day. Now, we're in a political season, okay? And I saw a lot of political advice in here. I did. So I'm just going to show you what I saw, okay? So when I read a book, I'm always thinking, how does it apply to my marriage? How does it apply to my house? How does it apply to my attitude? I'm looking for an application, something that's really going to help me. So on page 125 in the book, I started making notes in chapter 9. I think I made some earlier, but in chapter 9, I call it political advice. The cause of hurtful conflict is what's mentioned. And what I did was I thought, okay, there's a lot of hurtful stuff being said and done. And this is why we have hurtful conflict, because of pride. And it says only by pride comes contention. But with the well-advised, there is wisdom. And so it's a word for us to step back and say, are we becoming prideful? And maybe that's why we're having some of the contention. Then it says anger, Proverbs 15:18. A hot-tempered man stirs up dissension, but a patient man calms a quarrel. And that's on page 126. So I just go through the book like that. And that's what makes this such a great devotional book, because it's just here's something that you can think about that might be helpful to you. Harsh words. Oh boy, we could use that one. Soft words, Proverbs 15:1, turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. There's something about realizing the danger in that. There's another one, number 4, impulsive reaction in Proverbs 25:8. Solomon says, do not go out hastily to strive, lest you know not what to do in the end thereof. Most arguments are started impulsively. Few are carefully thought out beforehand. Solomon warns that an argument or conflict started on impulse has a much greater likelihood of hurting you in the end rather than helping you. His prescription is don't do it, stop, and think about alternative course of action. I'm telling you, you married, ooh, that's a good one right there. Or even the grown kids, I'm telling you, that's a good one right there. Because you impulsively respond, and then you think, okay, let's think now. I know they said that. Because see, your mind starts pulling together all the things you did. And I know you're not talking to me. There is a part in the play The Wiz that I went and saw in New York that was so funny. I'll give you a look. Yeah, it's the last day. You can't go see that this week. But anybody saw The Wiz? Okay, anyway. So The Wiz in Broadway. Nobody? Okay, good. Well, in the play, when Dorothy is first in the storm, in the Wizard of Oz story, the storm comes, right? And she's hanging some clothes on the line. Hey, Dorothy, you better get out of here. The storm is coming. And I think we're in the wind's blowing a little bit, And then she said, I don't feel like hanging nothing up on no line. And then the lady playing her mother did this. She said, and Dorothy said, what you doing? I'm looking to see who in the world you talking to. I'm trying to find who you talking to. I know it ain't me. It was a great moment, It's a great play. I enjoyed it. But there is something about how I respond in conflict when I'm confronted by somebody, and it's just really amazing. I've had that happen so many times in my life. It's just amazing. Meddling in other people's conflicts. Proverbs 26:17. He that passes by and meddles with strife belonging not to him is like someone who lifts up a dog by the ears. That's just good stuff. It fits our politics. You just kind of, I like it anyway. I think it's great. Solomon steps for winning in conflict and overcoming adversity. Understand the potential consequence of the conflict. Keep as your goal achieving the best possible outcome for all parties involved. Christians are not always comfortable with people who are not. We have very exclusive Christian cultures, and we don't realize it. I love the fact that he takes us through and says, okay, let me talk to you about winning in conflict and overcoming adversity, how you do that, understanding the potential consequence of the conflict. If we have this conflict, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if we allow our family to migrate into this conflict? Okay, I don't like what she said. I know that's not good. She knew in the family, okay. Or I know I could just let him have it. But what will be the result of this conflict? How will it damage everything? Keep as your goal achieving the best possible outcome. What's the best possible outcome? Go over there and tell them off. Go over there and say what's on my mind. Or wait a minute. Maybe wait a minute, right? I love this book. I love this part. Seek counsel before engaging in a conflict. Proverbs 20:18. Solomon tells us that every purpose is established by counsel. Let me just ask somebody. And I was talking about it today, and they were telling me about some conflict they had with somebody. Here's what I want to say, Pastor Rick. Your wife is a blanket. I said, hey. All of that right there, we're going to edit all that out. And what you're going to say is this, okay? Your son says, hey. So it was amazing how they did what I said, and they said it went well. It went quite well. I left out all the other adjectives and adverbs you advised me to leave out, and it went well. But sometimes in life, people have a hard time with that. So it says, do not answer a fool. I love this. In the manner he attacks. That's a good one. Man, many arguments. This is on page 129. Many arguments and conflicts are immature, at best foolish at worst. Solomon advises us not to come down to the level of our attackers. If someone calls us names or attacks our character, don't respond by calling the other person names and attacking their character. Number 5, don't reveal confidential information. Don't tell everybody all your business. It's great warning. Never prolong an argument. Don't keep it going on and on and on. Some of you have been in arguments for weeks now. Let it go. Let it go. Give an unexpected gift. A gift in secret, Proverbs 21:14, a gift in secret pacifies anger. And a reward in the bosom, strong wrath. Sometimes just being nice to people. I've seen a waitress be awful. Just awful. I went to a restaurant the other day, and I walked in, and it was and I didn't want to sit where everybody was. I just didn't feel like it. It was just like, look, I've had a hard day of travel. I want to sit over there by that window by myself. And so that section was getting closed, right? And she went over to her. She said, hey, could you just leave it open for let this one more person? Oh, she grunted. She just, all right. I said, tell her it's going to be worth her while. Tell her it's going to be worth your while. You let me sit here today. Just sit over here at the window, get some fish. I want some fish. I'm sit by myself. So I went and sat by the window in the restaurant. And she came over and she kind of gave me the menu. You could tell the spirit still wasn't right yet. So she kind of gave me the menu. I looked at her, I said, it's going to be a great day for you. I said, it's going to be the best day you had all day. Today's going to be your best day you had all day long. And she said, okay, what you want? I told her what I wanted. So she got my fish. I said, it was good too. So after I ate, I said, all right, I promise you it's going to be the best day. So I gave her 30% tip on top of what for the food, right? Because where I was, they were paying for my food. So I was not going to, the people, they bought my ticket. I'm a guest. So they're paying for it. So I don't want to put it on their bill. So I said 30%. I let them pay you 30% because, I'm a guest speaker. So they're going to. Then I said, now on top of that, I'm going to give you this here. And I gave her $100.
Wow.
She about cried. She said, I ain't made no money all day. She said, I ain't made no money. She said, people in here ain't paid nothing, ain't nothing. She said, oh God, you just don't know, man. You just don't know, sir. I was an angel then. See, I was an angel. A gift sometime, unexpected gift. Changed her mind. When you come back, look for me, my table now. I said, yes, ma'am. I'll look for you when I come back. I sure will. It was great. It was a great moment. But I'm telling you, there's something about that moment where you sit there and you see how I can change this moment. I can make this a bad moment, or I can change this moment and make this better.
But the reciprocal of that would have been great, and I'm assuming.
Pass that mic there so that they can hear. No, you're fine. I want to hear what you're going to say.
I was just going to say the reciprocal of that. You would think she saw like, man, I haven't made any money all day long. Maybe if I had just been a little bit nicer, or maybe if I had taken that. So maybe you gave her a great lesson with that or whatever, because that's a great lesson for me too. I'm just not gonna pay no $100 for the smile.
Yeah, see, it's all good. No, I know you would. But your point, the point is there are times when I believe God will sovereignly move you to give your best and above to help somebody get above where they are. Because sometimes they're in a place and they don't know they're there. They don't know they're in that place. And God can use your resources to help somebody. I'm gonna tell my wife's testimony. I'm gonna tell it just for a minute. There was somebody that went to New York. She just told me this morning. And they went to New York and they went there to see The Wiz. This last week is showing. And so she said the person, she discovered that they went there and got on the subway. Anybody from New York? They got on the subway and they got twisted around and they went the wrong way. Missed the whole show. Can't get your money back. Done paid for it. You feel the pain, don't you? Feel the pain, right? You know your way around the subway pretty good.
Not a lot. Yeah.
You do. You're good at it.
It's easy to get lost.
It's easy to, yeah. So that's why I don't ride it. Yeah. So I know I'm lost when I go in there. I don't know what to do. So, listen, I've ridden it in DC and that's pretty straight, but I'm just like really honest. I've never ridden in LA. I stay on above ground in LA because of earthquakes. So, but I never, but anyway, so his brother was just grieved over the fact that he couldn't go. And so Diane stepped in and said, you know what? I'm gonna buy you another ticket. She did. She bought the brother and the person with another ticket for him to go see. And she was up 3:00 in the morning hooking that up for him.
Oh, wow.
Now here's my point. Notice with me how there are moments in life where generosity and you stepping above what's convenient for you. And that's a spirit that I think it takes your life to another level. One pastor said, he said, you can't see over this. You got to climb up and get into this lifestyle of giving and serving and reading and praying. And there's something about holy living, simple things that take you to another place where you can't peek over there. You got to get up on that land and stand up there and say, okay, I'm going to do this. How much could God inspire you? You're praying for God to bless you to do what? You're praying for God to bless. Ain't my job. You should know how to read a train. You should have just caught a cab. Ain't my responsibility. Ain't my responsibility for to help nobody. Now, you won't ever forget that in your life. But you know what? They'll never forget generosity either. They'll never forget that you came in there and you stepped in and you did something that nobody else would do. And there are moments when I think God is trying to break us free. He's trying to shake us and take us to a new place. And if our hearts are right, there are moments where you see it. God says, I want to use you to teach somebody something. And the person was so overwhelmed by her kindness. And he said, no. I said, no. She said, no, I'm going to do this for you. I want you. King went all the way there and you missed it. This is your dream. So I want you to go. And I'm telling you, I believe God blessed her for it. Will bless her for it. Yeah. Now, anybody else have a comment about the book or a thought? Something online? What you got?
Willie Back says, one of my favorite areas in the book was where it was written only a trust-based relationship with God can fill the vacuum in your heart and bring eternal purpose to your life.
All right, Willie Black, up there in the Carolinas now. He up there in the Carolinas, he and his wife. Good to see you, sir. And I'm going to go see Willie Black. I told him I'm coming up there and see that brother up there. A trust-based relationship. That's good, Willie. Well said, sir. Thank you for your thoughts. All right. Anybody else have a thought or a comment about the book before I tell you about our next book? All right. Read this, read on. There's a lot more political advice in here. I just loved it. I thought it was really great. I loved it. I'm going to use it as a devotional, and it's going to become wonderful for me. This is our next book. It's Better Decisions, Fewer Regrets by Andy Stanley. This is a keeper. Now, there is a series. You can go watch the series if you want to online, and that'll give you another taste of the book. It is really good. Andy has a great job. Does a great job of making it simple. And so there are 5 questions that he does. And I'm telling you, these questions, I heard this some time ago, but it's a great read. So there's an integrity question, a legacy question, a consequence question, a maturity question, and a relationship question. 5 questions. So here are the questions. Am I being honest with myself? Really? Am I being honest with myself? Really? Number 2, what story do I want to tell? What story do I want to tell? I'll let you just dig into that when you get there. Is there a tension that deserves my attention? Is there a tension that deserves my attention? If I get angry about something and I see there's a tension, I first have a meeting with me, not with the person. If it's my wife, if it's staff, they'll tell you I do that. I'll go meet with me and I'll ask myself a series of questions. You ready? Like this. What you mad about, Rick? Tell me what you're mad about. Sometimes I go sit in the mirror. Tell me what you're mad about. Explain to me why you have a right to be angry about that. Or is it that if people disagree with you, you get mad with them and you have a right to be mad because they didn't say what you wanted to say, or she don't want to go where you want to go? It's so amazing. We can stumble into these moments over the dumbest things. Where you want to eat? Well, I don't know. That's Diane's favorite line. I don't know. Okay. How about Barnes? I don't want to go there. How about I don't want to go there? Okay. You done said you don't know where you want to go. Now you're telling me every place and name you don't want to go. Now, why am I going to get upset about that? It's been 40-some years of that. I should be used to it by now. That don't mean that she's bad. That just means she really don't know where she wants to go. And she's just going through the list with me like I'm doing. But if I'm not careful, I allow myself, and we do this. Somebody says something in a certain tone. That's just how they say it. They have to maybe learn how to do a better job, but that's just how you get it at 2 a.m. or whenever you got it. Sometimes it's just going to be like that. Sometimes, you're not paying, you're getting sidetracked when a person is doing the best they can. And so I love that whole idea. I'm telling you, I am always trying to manage tension, and I find I help myself by saying, you and I tell you, I counsel couples, they don't do well with this at all. They live in a constant state of tension, always mad about something. You still holding stuff 5 years ago. I remember, and that I can tell because every time you get in the conversation, you bring it up. You did the same. You always did. So you 1922, you did the same thing. 1989, and your mama does it, and your daddy. You know what I'm saying? You start getting into all that, and boy, I tell you, just a bad trick. All right, what is the why? Oh boy, this part. Get this. Watch the sermon. What is the wise thing to do? Based on this, is what he says in the sermon. Based on my history, based on my past, what is the wise thing to do? My plane leaves at 9 a.m. Based on my history and based on my attitude in the morning, what is the wise thing to do? Pack today. That's the wise thing to do. The wise thing to do. If the plane leaves at 9 and they board at 8:30, I need to be there at 7:30. Based on my history, the wise thing to do is to go to bed early. Because I know me. I'm not going and then lay the clothes out. I don't pick clothes in the morning. I don't do that. Because I know me, the wise thing to do. Iron that shirt before. You're going to be on video. You can't wear a white shirt. I got a white shirt I had on earlier. Matching shoes. Can't have, but you can't wear that on video. So the wise thing to do, get your black shirt. See, wise. See, that question has helped me in my life. What is the wise thing to do based on my history, based on what I know about me? See, you get in that conversation, the wise thing to do is say, you know what? I'm probably not in the mental framework to have this conversation right about now. If you give me a chance to go and meditate and talk to my God, I'll come back. And then you got to come back because based on your history, you won't go back. You be lying. You won't go back. You tell the lie now. You're not gonna come back. So then they'll bring it up, and then you in my face again. See, based on. All right. That's why when I used to go, my mom got me into shopping, and so when I go to the clothing store, there's a particular store based on my history in that store. I know this is going to be $1,000 visit. $500. This ain't gonna be no $200 visit. So what I would do, it's the truth. Before I go in that store, I go outside. That's a place I pray. I do. I stand there and pray, Father, in the name of Jesus. I'm going in this suit store. I like suits, and so I'm not gonna buy 5 and 6 of them today. I'm gonna buy 2 suits. It's all I need in the name of Jesus. So then I go in the store. And one time I was in there, and the guy, I won't say his name, but the guy said, "He's Pastor Ricky." He showed me all these things, suits. This place in LA I like on Los Angeles Street. And the guy said, I've had these 3 that on sale too. I said, come here, let me show you something. I took him outside. I said, you see this spot? I took him outside the store. I said, you see this spot? He said, yeah, some broke up concrete. I said, no, that's my press spot. I said, I prayed right here before I went in. I'm serious. I prayed before I went in the store. Because based on my history, based on what I have done in the past, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to buy 4 or 5. Well, I know me. And, that hookup going to be amazing. See, now, anyway, so that's, praise the Lord. At least I'm honest. I told the truth. Here you go. Last question. What does love require of me? What does love require of me? What does love require of me? Great questions. Better decisions, fewer regrets. This is a good book. Get it by Andy Stanley. We'll talk about that next time together. I promise you. Oh, we do. We have a few back here. You can get them. And if you're watching online, you got to go buy yours. Buy it online. It's a great book by Andy Stanley, Fewer Regrets, to help you determine your next move. 5 questions to help you determine your next move. So thank you for being with us today. Any questions about anything? We got about 5 minutes to go. And if you're online, you can type in the question. Let's see, what does Carolyn Jeffrey said what? She said this. ahead.
explanation of how generously you give, you can bless your soul. I love the idea of using this book as a devotional, a very good read.
Yeah, good. All right. Thank you, Carolyn. Yes.
The next session, sorry. The next session, and right now scheduled for the last one for the year, is going to be November the 9th, the second Saturday in November.
Okay.
And that'll be the book that we'll discuss.
All right. So make sure you make note of this, and always, share it with people, invite them to tune in with us. Do we send this out to them? Do we send this? We leave it up? It's online? Where is it at online? It's on YouTube. Proverb YouTube. We'll make sure we aim you at it. Okay. We'll send you a link to show you where it all is, so you can go back and see the last books and all that. So we'll do all that for you and make it fancy. We'll even put it on the app. So you can say book review, and you'll be able to go back and see all the reviews. Wouldn't that be cool? I think so. We'll work on that. All right. Anybody else have a question about anything at all? Why not have fun? We got five minutes left. Any question about any topic you want, we can get off the book. Anything you want to hear me talk about for 5 minutes, and I'm going to be done, you know me, in 5 minutes. So you got 4 minutes to go. Yes.
One thing Ms. Temple wanted me to bring to your attention is we got, with this water, we got quite a few members that are having some overflow issues, major overflow issues from the Ogeechee River overflowing. And so that's some of them are, I don't want to say trapped, but they can't move about. And that's out in the area with Rita and Bishop.
Bishop, they're all stuck out there? Oh, wow. I'm calling them. So y'all stuck. Okay. Okay. We'll keep that in prayer. Those people stuck in the flood areas can't move. Anybody else? A question about anything? Yes, go for it.
It was referring back to the book. I wanted to ask, in a world where everyone's success is on display, when it comes to social media, how do you believe Solomon could help us deal with the pressure of trying to keep up with others?
I love the fact that Solomon said, above all, you're getting an understanding. And that when you understand what wealth is, here's the wealthiest guy in the world, in the history of the world, they say. A trillionaire, being whatever, if you took his wealth and put it in today's dollars. There is a comfort when you have knowledge. So, for example, as you get older, one of the things about being older, somebody asked me, I want to be younger. I told them, no, never again. Because I know now what's true and what's not true. You don't ever go back to elementary school because you know. Middle school, no. College, you know. See, as you go to the different levels, there are things you know. When you know that wealth and what they have doesn't mean what you think it means. When you see the guy in the car, you know that's a car payment. You see it differently. You know what I'm saying? So you adjust your vision. That's why everybody, this is so classic, everybody who is married, if they're counseling a single person, they'll say, do not get married for sex. And everybody single person goes, so why you say that? Because you ain't married. When you get married, you understand it's a lifestyle and it's responsibility, and it ain't everything is made up to be on TV. It's wonderful. It's a gift from God, but there's responsibility. So my point is, knowledge makes you separate yourself from what they have. You understand what it is, and you understand what it is not. And so I feel that, you use that knowledge you have now about your past. If somebody came to you and they said, I'm going to be a cheerleader, you'd be, okay, good. Would you be overly impressed? Not like you were when you were in high school. See, now you go, okay, don't hurt yourself. They have a high rate of damage. Your whole view of cheerleading is different. Your whole view of the prom. I'm going to the prom. If you didn't go to the prom, you felt like you was going to lose your life. You just had to go to the prom. I went to the prom with a very nice person she's a great person, did really well in life, bless her heart. And I didn't even, it was $10 to buy the pictures. I didn't buy them. I didn't buy them. Now see, look at your face looking at me like that. Look at your face, see that face. Your wife looking at me. You didn't buy them? She could have bought them. See, that another face looking at me again. It's all on me. Why I got to be on me? I'm a single man trying to make it. I was a young brother. We're out bagging groceries. You know how many groceries I had to bag? Get $10. You only get 50 cents, $2, $1 here. You barely got $1 back then. Man, I had a $10. So I just took it with my eye. Click, there you go. We got it. So that was it. True story. She's wonderful, though. She's still a friend. I like her. She's good people.
But
Yes.
but on the other end of the continuum with that same thought process, how do you not become a naysayer or whatever? One of the angst that I have, and I guess I'm kind of moving to that group, being the older group, is they just become a killjoy for young people that want to have experiences about things. You realize once you get a house, it's just a house. You realize all of that stuff. And for people that aspire, because your life does become a light, they want some of that. And you have to balance all that with them. But, you know, y'all understand what I'm saying? Like older people just become like, oh, that ain't this and that. It's like, I just had that conversation with a family member that was trying to kill the hopes and dreams of some little old kids that I love. I was like, can you just let them be disappointed and you quit trying to tell them it's fake?
Yeah. I think it's important to be happy. I think it's important to let people dream. So I'm for that. The question was, how do I balance it? What helps me not get caught up in what they have to the point that I'm depressed because I don't have it. You see, so based on that question, that was my answer. My answer is, see it from another level. But here's what I think is true. There are some things that are just wonderful to have. And I think we need to have those wonderful moments. I'm telling you, there's nothing. My wife we went on a trip to Alaska, and my wife got me a first class seat with the ones that lay down. I didn't know. We've ridden on that several times, but I didn't know we was on that kind of, first class. I thought we'd just be in the first class seat, just in the front, 2 seats. And when I got on the plane, I was confused. I said, "Wait," and they said, "Down there." And I said, "Oh Lord." And I went down there, and she said, "Gotcha." I said, "You go, girl. You go, girl." I'm gonna tell you now. I sat down like a big shot. Want everybody to know, take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes. What? Did I not celebrate? Oh, yes. Don't let nobody fool you. I just show you got that.
Because you hear people talk about first class. Oh, coach getting at the same time the other one. That's not they never said it first.
You can knock it till you ride it. My mother, I'll tell you a quick story. My mother, I was terrible. I said, "Mom, I need you to come July 3rd. We're going on vacation for a week." She said, "Do I have a life?" I said, "Yeah, you do, but be here July 3rd. I'm going to send you a ticket." So I sent her a ticket. So she never flown first class. So I sent her a first class ticket. And she said, "Woo." First she got real mad. "I ain't flying up there with them people. They're high and the mighty. I'm not doing it." I said, "Well, the only way you're going to see your grandchildren. So you got to know where to hit them at, see? So you use that ticket because I done paid for it." So she got on there and she was up. She said, "Woo." And then when she got off, she said, "Don't do it if you can't keep doing it." Don't do it if you can't keep doing it now. Don't do it. She said, "I'm going to tell you now." And there are moments when I think God wants you to have richly all things in life to enjoy. I think it's nice to feel good about yourself. It is. It's nice. And there are a lot of little things I do. I call it tricking yourself into being happy. I trick myself into being happy. I do. I trick myself. I do things just make me happy. Like, for example, today, I went and got my car washed. It's out there. Go look at it. It's shining like the sun. And I drive off. You'll see me. I be leaning in. I feel good. I feel good in the clean car. I love it. It makes me feel good about myself. I like to sit there and watch them clean it. And sometimes I get mad because it's dirty. It ain't dirty. Down to tell you, the car clean. I can't get it washed today. I do. They'll tell you I do. I like it. I trick myself all the time into being happy. I planned some stuff the other day. I called another friend. I called another friend, and I'm going to hang out with him. We're gonna go and ride, go sit down in his house. He got a big old man cave, and we're gonna go sit in this man cave. And I'm gonna drag Diane with me. Drag her with me. Come on, girl. She said, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna go." That's right. You're going, girl. If you watch it, going. Gonna have fun. Take a couple of days off. and just do something I want to do. Ricky time. Whose time is it? Ricky time. Ricky time. Ricky time for me. And she'll go. She'll have fun. We'll be all right. They're good friends. But see, my point is, I'm tricking myself into being happy. Upgrade my room to a little bigger room just so I can feel like I'm in a big dog house. Just like it. Feel good about me for a minute. You know, don't get 1 scoop ice cream, buy 2. Today, not tomorrow. That's it. Okay, just 2. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just feel good. I ate the whole bag of potato chips the other day. Thank you, Jesus. Ate the whole bag. Yes, I did, with the barbecue. It was wonderful. No, it was little. It was little. It was 2 little bags. It wasn't big. It was 2 little bags. They have in Subway. You know, little ones they have in Subway. That's what I got. No. I got the little one. But you know, that make me feel good. There's something that makes me feel good. And so I do think it's important to have those moments where you feel good about yourself. And so you folks have been great. I love having you here. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank y'all for watching from home. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Have a blessed life. Thank y'all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.